What advice would you give to parents who are concerned about their kid reading a book they don't want their kid reading?
I believe that grown-ups should have the right to make decisions about what their child reads, but that's where I think it ends. You shouldn't have control over what other children read. It's okay if you're worried about the book, if you think that there are problems inherently in the literature. That's fine between you and your child, but you don't know the life of another household. You don't know what that child needs. You don't know what they may be experiencing. You may never know of like they've always wanted to feel seen. They've always wanted to belong in books. So yes, there should be decisions made between a grown-up and a child. But that's as far as I'm willing to go in being understanding of book bans. I think I am very lucky in that I get to speak with kids. Visit school libraries. I get to talk on panels, and sometimes there are actual young kids as young as third, fourth, fifth grade talking about the right to read, and they're outraged, and they don't understand why all these books are being banned. They don't understand why they're never given a full reason as to why the book is banned. It's not explained to them, and shockingly to me, I think in more of these discussions is listening to these kids, these third through eighth graders who say their peers have no idea that the books are being banned, and it's these kids who are using their powerful voices, people like yourself, people younger, who are saying, no, what's going on? Why can't I read these books? If you're going to say that, then let me know why. This is why we're having a literacy crisis. Is because you're trying to take away books. So that's a long way of talking about the history, my personal viewpoint on book bans, talking about the right to read, which kids are talking about, and saying that parents should just be able to have that conversation just with themselves and not worry so much about other kids. Yes, we want to worry about their future. We want to worry where they're at, but we also want these decisions being made begin because you don't know the background. You don't know what people need when it comes to stories, and stories for a person like me, for a person like myself who's often had some mental health struggles. Books were always my very first friends, and there are many books I read as a kid, many books I would read now as a kid that would probably be banned, and if my quote unquote friends had been basically removed, who knows what I would have done as a kid with my struggles. So I think when we do that, we don't realize how detrimental it is to the future of kids by saying you can't read these books, and we need to concentrate on their future. We need to have conversations with them as the real human beings that they are, and listen to them why books should be read, and for some families, for some households, why books are not allowed to be read because they're seeing that decision is maybe being made, and they have questions, and in the future, it's going to harm what they choose to read and if they want to keep on reading. So I think if we want to make lifelong readers, we should be very careful and very cautious about banning books, about removing books um, from the life of kids because they're far more brilliant than we can ever think. And I think we can do. We just need to have conversations with them. I think they're the ones who we should be talking to and saying, "What do you think about parents banning books, saying you can't read this book?"